Emali yami ngibambe Bambe Ali yami ngibambe Ali yami ngibambe Emali yami ngibambe Ngibambe Asihekile mali sosebenzeke Ngomele yabelu sosebenzeke Asihekile mali sosebenzeke Ngomele yabelu sosebenzeke Asihekile mali sosebenzeke Ngomele yabelu sosebenzeke Asihekile mali sosebenzeke Ngoba kumele yabelu susebenzenye bathi izolo bekumnandi bathi izolo bekumnandi besithi imali ye bathi izolo bekumnandi bathi izolo bekumnandi besithi imali ye bathi izolo bekumnandi bathi izolo bekumnandi besithi imali ye bathi solo bekumnandi bathi solo bekumnandi besithi imali ye bathi solo bekumnandi bathi solo bekumnandi besithi imali ye bathi solo bekumnandi bathi solo bekumnandi besithi imali ye bathi solo bekumnandi bathi solo bekumnandi besithi imali ye bathi solo bekumnandi bathi solo bekumnandi besithi imali ye acela ukungiyekele ngoba ngisho imali yami mina 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 indelende kalamata loko sakusha thina sifuna lema kade sifuna lema kade sifuna lema mali soko kade sifuna lema kade sifuna lema mali soko indelende kalamata loko sakusha thina sifuna lema kade sifuna lema kade sifuna lema mali soko kade sifuna lema kade sifuna lema mali soko acela ukungiyekele ngoba ngisho imali yami mina acela ukungiyekele ngoba ngisho imali yami mina acela ukungiyekele ngoba ngisho imali yami mina acela ukungiyekele ngoba ngisho imali yami mina
This is Share Radio.
Awusile Makoya lo, you're listening to Share Radio. Yazini, ziyawa kai. Danko.
This is Share Radio. You're listening to Share Radio, the best online visual radio station in town. Tune in now and enjoy the best music from around the block. This is Share Radio.
Have fun, Nalo knows over here. Catch me Kongo Lwesibini at 2 p.m. on the Creative Corner. Summit.
Depression and suicide are serious issues that affect many people. If you're feeling alone or hopeless, know that you are not alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, there are resources available to help you. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group offers a 24-hour toll-free emergency helpline for suicide crisis support. Call them on 0800 567 567. Remember, you're not alone. There is hope and help is available.
You know you want to join the Creative Corner every Tuesday, where we vibe with the coolest creators.
But nah, you are too busy catching up on Umkosi, celebrity news and the headliners on the Trusted Talk Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
Embrace your feminine side with the ladies of Sisterhood, Thursdays at 11 a.m., talking about everything women go through.
Join Amachita, Amahrotmani, the broskies of Sotra, fixing the country, one topic at a time, Thursdays at 2 p.m.
Get ready to spice up your sex life on the 8th hour every Thursday at 8 p.m., where we get down and dirty with the hottest topics. It's all things sex.
Start the weekend early with the feel-good vibes of Kasi Lifestyle Show Fridays at 2 p.m. Put on your dancing shoes, feel the music, and connect with the best artist Mzansi has to offer.
And if you're still not satisfied, you can learn a thing or two about living wild, young, and free with Ama 2K Saturdays at 11 a.m.
And for all you bookworms, relax your Saturday with On Writing at 2 p.m., where you can learn from the best writers and storytellers.
All this and more on Share Radio, the place to be.
Depression and suicide are serious issues that affect many people. If you're feeling alone or hopeless, know that you are not alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, there are resources available to help you. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group offers a 24-hour toll-free emergency helpline for suicide crisis support. Call them on 0800 567 567. Remember, you're not alone. There is hope and help is available.
Have Nalo knows over here. Catch me Kong Lwesivini at 2 p.m. on the Creative Corner. Summit.
On the ones and twos, the threes and fours, fives and six. I greet you, man. Welcome. Welcome. I'm talking to you who is watching and listening to us.
Have Nalo knows over here. Catch me Kong Lwesivini at 2 p.m. on the Creative Corner. Summit.
Yes, Bafetu, this is your boy Andy Maandi. Catch me every Thursday, 2 p.m. Konala with the Broskis of Sotra, brought to you by Ishe Radio. We are fixing the country. Ungatasikujelanga ati yekadas.
You know you want to join the Creative Corner every Tuesday, where we vibe with the coolest creators.
But nah, you are too busy catching up on Umkosi, celebrity news and the headliners on the Trusted Talk Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
Embrace your feminine side with the ladies of Sisterhood, Thursdays at 11 a.m., talking about everything women go through.
Join Amachita, Amahrotmani, the broskies of Sotra, fixing the country, one topic at a time, Thursdays at 2 p.m.
Get ready to spice up your sex life on the 8th hour every Thursday at 8 p.m., where we get down and dirty with the hottest topics. It's all things sex.
Start the weekend early with the feel-good vibes of Kasi Lifestyle Show Fridays at 2 p.m. Put on your dancing shoes, feel the music, and connect with the best artist Mzansi has to offer.
And if you're still not satisfied, you can learn a thing or two about living wild, young, and free with Ama 2K Saturdays at 11 a.m.
And for all you bookworms, relax your Saturday with On Writing at 2 p.m., where you can learn from the best writers and storytellers.
All this and more on Share Radio, the place to be.
Depression and suicide are serious issues that affect many people. If you're feeling alone or hopeless, know that you are not alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, there are resources available to help you. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group offers a 24-hour toll-free emergency helpline for suicide crisis support. Call them on 0800 567 567. Remember,
have you ever wondered who's responsible for fixing the country? Of course. Join us every Thursdays at 2 p.m. as the broskies of Sotra, fixing the country one topic at a time. Ati Ekada.
me tell you about my story when I almost passed. I was locked up in the dungeon, couldn't see the light. Neighbors gave me calls to check up if I'm alive or cause I heard the story. I saw Moses in the flesh when the car rolled over twice. Yeah, I was sitting in the back, I only heard people screaming. Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit. Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit.
Redemption, redemption. Bring a lot of seed in this music, tryna make it. You can tell me shit, I do what I want, ain't no questions. Told me I need patience. Gotta work hard, boy, I'm speaking from the heart. You don't know what it's like being alone in the dark, searching for the light. The sun never shine on me. Caught up thinking about the past, that's why this shit is stuck with me. I had dreams to make these bitches scream every time when I'm killing beats. That's back when I was 16, Benny bridges paving my own way like I'm Moses. Remember what you said to me. You thought I wouldn't make it big.
Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit. Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit. Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit. Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit.
On the ones and twos, this is Caesar the Beast featuring Ian Steez ZA. Are we winning? Are we okay?
Invest my time, wish me well till I get it right, yeah. Got it for the top. The vision is to run the block with all of my woes. Pray I never flop. They all want me gone right now. They all want me gone right now. Remember what you said to me. You thought I wouldn't make it big. They all want me gone right now. They all want me gone right now.
Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit. Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit. Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit. Yeah, I been thinking about the past shit, it's stuck on my mind. I been thinking about the past shit.
On the ones and twos, the threes and fours, the fives and six. Hey, welcome everyone. You're already taking from wherever you're tuned in. You are right on time, right on schedule if you have just joined us. The rendezvous on a Tuesday afternoon, like I always say, is the Creative Corner brought to you by Share Online. And this is where we talk about and discuss all things concerning and pertaining to the creative, the artistic, and as well as the entertainment spaces. As usual, you're hanging out with me, MOOCEE Mr. This is Musi Mr. And like I always say, I'm never alone. I am with the one and only. This is Nolu. Hey,
yes, so this is the one and only Nolu Knowles. Yes, welcome. Yes.
Yeah, man. How's it going?
Everything is good,
Yeah.
more especially now that we're getting closer to the shared experience.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So we're super excited. Sibalamalanga,
Yes.
everything is coming together. So fam, do not forget, on the 15th of June, we are hosting a shared experience at Bowles Arts Kitchen in Dobsonville, Extension 3, right?
4.
Oh, okay.
Extension 4, 5.
Extension 4. So come in numbers. It's only 50 rands. Amatikiti, come and enjoy with us.
And if you want to get in touch with us and learn more about the shared experience on the 15th of June, you can hit us up on all our social media platforms. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and as well as YouTube. The handle is The Share Online. This is the Share experience that will be taking place on the 15th of June at Bell's Art Kitchen. You want to talk to us, perhaps you want to call us, you want to send us your voice note. The number to dial is 061-524-7758. That's 061-524-7758. It's not. Namhlanje we are not alone.
Yes.
And I'm sure people are wondering why.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, it's very weird having you next to me. So for the past couple of weeks, right, you've been sitting that side.
And I keep looking at the mirror. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
am I
It's very strange.
am I looking beautiful or not?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Manakokai, we are not alone today in studio. We are joined by the one and only a Dobsonvillian, if I can say that, right?
For sure.
We're joined by MGM TheGrand and Frenchboe. And they are here with their social media
Manager.
which is Nosipo. And they'll be hanging out with us for the next couple of hours or so, talking all things entertainment, creativity, and artistry. So if you want to get in touch with us, you want to ask them a few questions, and maybe perhaps you want to share your love, the number to dial, like I said earlier on, is 061 524 7758. Is this Nolu? Anything on your side?
Yes. Okay. Let's give them a platform to greet and introduce themselves, and then after that, I'll
We get into it.
Yeah.
There we go. MGM, right to you. Or go tala thabo, or go simula wena.
I guess I can start off.
Yes, sir.
Greetings, everyone out there.
Yes.
All right, my name is MGM TheGrand.
Okay,
actually-
sorry. Can you speak through the mic, or can
Oh,
you?
sorry.
closer?
Is
Yes,
this better?
Thank you very much.
Okay,
There we
okay.
go.
As I was saying, my name is MGM TheGrand. I was born.
Hi, boy, MG. Oh, what happened to your voice now?
No.
It went down.
It's a lot more intimate now, so I have to
Okay.
you know.
There we go.
I was born Mongameli Khubusa Mangmutlabi.
Yes.
Right? Actually in the States. Stayed there for 10 years. Then we moved to South Africa.
Yeah.
And I've been living in South Africa ever since. So
Okay.
I caught the music bug very early at a very young age.
Yes, sir.
I think we all aspire to be superstars, so we want to emulate the people that we see on TV. And at the time when I was young, Michael Jackson was a thing. Boyz II Men came into play. The likes of Bobby Brown, Babyface. Then you have your Dr. Dre's and your Quincy Joneses and your. So there's a whole lot of influences that have come into my life. As
So, Musi, how
in order to
old were
shape
you?
me.
Mina.
He says
We'll
he's
get-
24.
we'll get to that.
He says he's 24. I'm wondering for the how manyth time he's 24.
We'll get to that. Come on, expose me. I'm 24.
I've already
He's
exposed
talking about-
myself. I've already exposed
You
myself.
have definitely.
He's talking about Michael Jackson, and you are like,
Boys to Men. No, I'm not lost. Don't get me wrong. I'm not lost.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it. But we're
Like
sticking
expose,
with the one
like
who's in that
expose.
24. Class of 2018. Yes, sir. You can continue.
So, I mean, there's a lot of musical influences that have affected my life and have shaped who I have decided to become. But I eventually got to a point where I realized that it's really important for creative people to recognize the importance and value that they have in this entertainment industry as brands in and of themselves, effectively as businesses in and of themselves. And I think the recent advent of the internet and looking at how independent record companies have become the almost the norm, so to speak.
Yes, the new
I
thing
think that
now.
has definitely given independent artists an opportunity to express themselves in ways that they've never been able to do before. So MGM Productions is not necessarily your traditional record company. I don't define it as a record company. I define it as a multimedia and audio production company. Now, what does that mean? It sounds like a whole lot of...
Let's get right into it. We'll get right into it a bit later on. Because for
Okay.
now, we just wanted to know who MGM is. And
Fair
stuff
enough.
Like that. So we still have a bit more time. But you're not alone today. You didn't come alone to studio.
No, I came through with my my business partner and also signee,
Yes, sir.
who happens to be on MGM
I
Productions,
see.
Frenchboe.
Yeah.
So maybe he can give
Yeah,
give a bit of
yeah.
more
business
production
partner, can you
introduction to
come
himself.
closer to the mic, please?
I don't know how I topped that off. He said a
He
mouthful.
said, yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it.
let's do this. Let me. Yeah.
Is that
Can
better?
you-
There we go.
There we
Perfect.
go.
There we go.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet.
Yes, sir.
Tabo, real name.
T-Bodies.
Yes. Surname Zerawa. I'm also a Dobsonvillian.
Yes, sir.
Grew up around here, and I spent
around 9 years in El Dorado Park. So came back later on to actually finish off my Dobsonvillian ness.
Okay, Tabo, masenza sone.
Yeah.
Because mic yakho takes sound straight, ne?
Okay.
So whenever you want to look at him and come back.
Okay. No
so
sweat.
that
No
people
sweat.
hear you.
No sweat.
Thank you.
I got back around the age of 12, 13. That's when I got introduced into DJing. I'm a DJ, also a producer as well. By the way, I didn't say my AKA.
So Tab is your real name.
Tab was my real name.
Yes.
My street name is Frenchboe.
Frenchboe.
Frenchboe with a B-O-E, not a Y.
Your business name, not your street name.
Okay.
I see you.
That's my
I
boss.
See you. Yes. Correcting you there very quickly.
Yeah.
I see you.
So I started learning how to DJ just my first year as a teenager, and yeah, man, the rest is history.
No, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. So that was Frenchboe and MGM introducing themselves. They're gonna be hanging out with us for the rest of the afternoon, and we're gonna get deep into the conversation about where they have been, where they are now in their careers, and musically so, and where they're heading to into the future. So like I said, if you want to get in touch with us, the number to dial is 061-524-7758. That's 061-524-7758. Right now we're streaming live on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and as well as YouTube. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. Creative Corner, streaming live, man, where we discuss and talk about all things entertainment, creativity, and artistry. And they didn't come alone. They came with their social media manager, Usis Nosipo, who I'm sure that will be able to introduce maybe towards the end of the show, a bit later on, because she can't just be sitting there in jail.
If she's willing.
I'm sure she is. I'm sure she is.
Yes, Musi. Before we go to the ad break, Musi, please allow me to remind our listeners that National Arts Council, which is known as NAC, has their funding open. So the same thing we did with NFEF.
Yes,
Remember,
yes.
I used to tell people about funding, which is called PESP. So NAC also has the same funding, ne? But Bona, they are doing it a bit differently because they're welcoming craft practitioners, dance, literature, multidiscipline, music, theater, including music, theater, and visual arts. So if you are an artist, you've got an organization, come through, check their website, NAC. You will see if funding closes on the 21 of June 2024. But I'll take you through it later on the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna go higher. So we're gonna grab a glass of water, go to the loo very quickly, go emakuleni, go to the shop, grab whatever you want to grab, and we will be right back with you right after this cool stuff.
Oh, no. online inethulela ishe experience music concepts ezobe ngomhla ka-15 June 2024 kanti ke ithikithi u50 nje kuphela ungaphuthela ukuzosibukela bukhoma abaculi bakho benza ezibukwayo ayidibane khona eBells Arts Kitchens.
On the ones and twos, threes and fours, fives and six. If you have just joined us and you have just tuned in, you're right on time, right on schedule to catch your favorite audio and visual radio station. This is Share Online. And the rendezvous where we're meeting right now, where we're at, is the Creative Corner, man. And this is where we discuss and talk about all things concerning and pertaining to the creative, the artistic, and as well as the entertainment spaces. My name is Musi Mesta, and the time right now is 14:35. That's 35 minutes past 2 on the 28th of May, 2024, the day before we go for our national votes, man. How do you feel about that, Stone?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm not even voting.
You're not voting?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. We'll get to that a bit later on.
I'm not. Oh, guys, I'm not.
So if you want to engage with us, we go by Share Online across all our social media platforms. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and as well as YouTube. And perhaps maybe if you want to get in touch with me, you want to talk to me personally, I go by MOOCEE Mister. That's Moosey Mister on Facebook and all other social media platforms. But I'm never alone.
And if you're looking for me, just check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. It's Share Online. Ndawo yonke. Make sure you follow, like, and press the notification bell on YouTube so that whenever we go live, you are notified. Moosey Mister.
Yes, ma'am. So like I said a bit earlier on, or if you have just tuned in and you have just joined us, right, we're not alone in studio today. We're with the one and only Frenchboe and MGM TheGrand. So we're going to get right into it, man. I'm very interested. Let's first start with the name. So like I said before, did you have anything?
No.
Okay. So like I said to you, right, when we got here, is I've always known MGM, the name MGM, right, when we first met. But I was not aware of team. Mongameli is where actually MGM are your initials for all of your names.
Yes.
So how did we get from Mongameli, Khubusamang to MGM?
How did I miss that?
You couldn't have possibly missed that. But before I even go into that, let me go into my radio thing and say that if you're looking for me on all platforms, it's at MGM TheGrand Official. On the 1, 2, 3s, and 4s and 5s
and 6. Yeah, man, I love it.
But
yes, sir.
To explain, Mongameli, Khubusamang Motlabi.
Yes.
My parents were quite adamant about ensuring that their sons are named in such a way that basfagi pressure. Because my first name is actually the answer to the second name, which is a question,
Khubusamang.
Yeah.
Umongameli.
Yeah.
I see
exactly.
you. I see you.
And then Motlabi is just the surname.
Your surname.
So I mean, I can't explain that part.
Sorry, Khubusa is in who's leading.
Who's leading? Who rules? Yeah.
Okay.
Very similar to Musimang.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So I mean, MGM is just my initials.
Yeah.
Right. And I was trying to find a way of making it sound clever because I didn't just want to say MGM. And if you go online and look for artists that are named MGM,
I did actually. There's quite a few names that come up under the name MGM.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I needed to find a way of making myself stand out, but in a way that's going to be familiar to people as well. And I know that there's a production company called MGM, which is a huge movie house.
Really?
Yes.
MGM.
Metro Golden Mayer. Metro Golden Mayer.
Okay.
You know those movies that start with a lion? That's MGM.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then there's also MGM is pretty much the conglomerate, but there's hotels, there's production companies, casinos, etc., etc. So MGM, the MGM Grand is a casino that's based in Las Vegas.
In LV.
So I was like, wait a minute. If anybody wants to compete with me, they're actually gambling with their career. And I also do happen to make movies on the microphone. So MGM TheGrand, that kind of works. You know?
I see.
So that's pretty much where the idea for MGM TheGrand came from. And I also figured, Hlaleka singi grand. So, you know, yeah.
I'll tell you, Sis Nolu, when we spoke to him last week, remember we had a call with him, right?
Yeah, I remember.
So as we're talking back and forth in terms of exchanging information, your bio and all of these things, right? Like, I don't know for you, but for me, and it's funny that you mentioned that there's casinos and all of these things that are named MGM, right? Like, the name does sound like it belongs in the movies somewhere in the Oscars. You know, on stage right now we have MGM TheGrand. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
it's got a nice buzz to it, right?
It does, definitely. Yeah. I see you. So I want to go ahead to share a bit about MGM TheGrand, but he's already said this earlier on when he introduced himself. Born on the 15th of March, his name is Mongameli Khubusamang Motlabi, affectionately known as MGM TheGrand, is an American-born and South African-based producer, singer-songwriter, and sound engineer. He dabbles in a wide variety of genres, including R&B, hip-hop, house, kwaito, amapiano, and Afro beats. And he goes by MGM TheGrand across all his social media platforms. Yeah, man, Sis Nolu, do you have anything on your side?
I'm still waiting on them.
You're still waiting? Okay.
I don't want to take their shine.
I see you.
So, and also, we've got French, right?
Frenchboe. Yeah.
Take us through the name. And
I knew.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, French.
Not really.
I mean,
it's pretty straightforward.
From
Sifike
Thabo, right?
nini ku French? Sifike nini?
From Thabo to find yourself
Kangoku.
as Frenchboe. How did that come about?
Okay, just like Mongameli started,
Yes.
I'm gonna give you my full names and everything. Thabo, my other name, which I really dislike.
Leonard.
Leonard.
Yeah.
I see you.
So yeah, I'm not really big on.
Did you check that? Leonard.
I'm thinking I'm gonna use that name.
No.
Remainder of the show.
I'm not big on slave names, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Thabo, and I got actually, I'm going to tell you a story about the name Leonard, which is actually my first name on the ID. You know, when you born as a baby, you've got your fists up and all of that.
Okay.
So at the time I was born, there was a very popular boxer by the name Sugar Ray Leonard.
No way.
So
I didn't know this.
Yeah, that's where I got my.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard of Sugar Ray in some boxing movies. So
Yeah,
that's the inspiration behind the name.
He was legendary.
He was.
He's as big as your Ali's.
Yeah.
He's basically your middleweight, like Ali or Tyson.
So you like those pastors who became pastors after they were born?
I guess so.
Straight after birth.
So let's get to French.
So you're born Leonard Thabo
Tserawa. Yes,
I see.
Tswana. You know, with these old people, there's always a mixture of Pedi and Sutu, and
Let's
you'll never
Tswana.
get to the
the actual
story.
core of
Yeah,
it.
the actual core. So my mom's side is from, as I've mentioned before, from Eldos. So yeah, from my mom's side, they're actually colored. And that's why I had to once in a lifetime actually live that side.
I see.
Let's get to the name Frenchboe. So how it actually started.
Good name is
I've been trying to sway away. So basically, the original is not Frenchboe.
Okay.
It's Ma French.
I see.
That's the actual nickname.
Okay.
So branding wise, it didn't make sense.
Pizza my French.
Yeah.
I see you.
It didn't make sense. And how I got the name Ma French is through a guy, Wamokasi. He used to call me a cheese boy, but he realized I'm not like those type of cheese boys.
I see you.
I'm very different to
French.
others. Like,
Or
what's
French.
the opposite?
Like, you're cheesy.
Yeah, I see you.
He's the cheese with the French.
Yeah.
So
actually.
and you know, with nicknames, the ones that you don't like are the ones that stick.
That stick, yes.
So yeah, so ever since I've been called Ma French since high school, and the name has stuck on. Yeah.
Okay, so before we leave this name thingy, you're also a musician, right?
I'm a songwriter, I'm a producer, DJ, and a sound engineer.
Okay. So is this name working for you?
100%.
Okay. So yes,
The same way you would ask, where do you get the name? The fact that it actually gets people talking.
Okay. Okay.
Frenchboe, yes.
It's got a story behind it. You know? So if it gets tongues wagging, it works.
It does.
Yeah.
So I want us to talk. You from MGM TheGrand.
Mm-hmm.
You're also part of the production.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who started the production, the inspiration, and everything?
Maybe if I can explain then, MGM Productions is my company, right?
Okay.
Onto which I partner up with actually my brother,
Okay.
who is my business partner and mentor as well. But I'm the CEO, I'm the one who's running the company.
I see you.
And the whole business initiative was based on empowering artists.
Okay.
And I started this in 2019 as an effort initially really to try and get my brand out there as MGM TheGrand.
And make money.
But so doing in such a way that I'm not relying on the business infrastructure that already exists, a record company where people get ripped off and stuff like that.
I see you.
So I wanted to make sure that I maintain as much ownership of my material as possible because I recognize the importance of that, having been in and out of the industry for quite some time. And I wanted to experiment with this new online platform, or release using digital distributors and marketing yourself. So this started out in 2019. 2020, I released my first single. Then COVID hit, and it kind of put a damper on my plans, and I wasn't not really sure about how to move forward thereafter. I had known French for quite some time up until that point, and he had now conceptualized this idea for a project that he wanted to put out. He wanted to put out a body of work. But he needed some advice, and he needed somebody to give him some sense of guidance, how to go about this. And I was like, okay, well, look, I don't have a body of work at this moment. You do. Let's see what we can do with my business expertise and acumen and your knowledge, or rather your creative work, and see what we can do with that. Now, understand one thing. At the time, obviously, French doesn't know much about the business aspects. He knows a few things, but there's certain things that I think as an artist you tend to take for granted, and you don't really appreciate how much is involved in putting out a project and getting it to blow up and things of that nature.
Until you go through it.
So one of the first things that he was like, yeah, I've got this 12 project song that I want to put out in 6 months. And I'm like, okay, it's COVID right now, and you haven't recorded a single thing. So how's that gonna work? So long story short, we got to a point where we came to an understanding about how we're gonna work, and an appreciation for how long things take. And we realized, look, we're not gonna be able to put this project out in 2020. Right? We're going to need to put some time and effort into it, and it'll come out at a later stage. But in so doing, we can, while we're busy producing this project, we can also build your brand, have a better understanding of your brand strategy, build the systems around the business in terms of the marketing system, the sales system,
have a proper structure,
operations, technology, finance. All of these things are aspects of business that an average artist wouldn't consider.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But we consider them. And in the long run, we recognize the fact that if we put enough effort into those aspects of the business, the brand will eventually come to fruition. Okay. You know? So really, this is a long-term strategy. It's not one of those, we're going to blow up now. In fact, a lot of the work that we've been putting in over the past 3 to 4 years, a lot of you guys out there, you're only going to realize this year.
You know, the reason I'm asking this question, but before Nkubeke, please do not forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We are share online everywhere. And also, if you want to engage with us, the number to call is 061-524-7758. So, my friend, how do you come in to MGM?
As he said, I'm an experiment.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding, man.
He's our little guinea pig.
Big guinea pig. As he explained most of the stuff, one thing he forgot to mention is that we had a bit of a synergy between us. And ever since, like, we never gravitated apart.
Yes.
So it has always been, okay, we never really spoke about it, but we've been working together ever since.
So, but here's the thing, because he mentioned that MGM Productions started in 2019, right?
Yeah.
And the idea behind it was putting your own brand out there, right?
Yeah, I mean that was in as far as the official aspects are concerned.
So, but before that, you guys had known each other for the longest of times, way before that, right?
A couple of years.
A couple of years before that.
Yeah, maybe about 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So before MGM Productions really starts kicking and going, had you guys worked together before that?
Never.
You hadn't worked together.
Not on anything official.
I see.
It was always like a couple of studio sessions here
and there, but nothing very concrete
nothing
and solid.
Yeah.
I see you guys. So that's
it was very clear though by that time that we're gonna work on something.
I see. You know? So now we're heading later into 2019, and you start MGM Productions. 2020. That's when the agreement comes in. We'll bring in Frenchboe's creative work and your business aspect and put those together.
Yeah.
I see you guys.
Because remember at the time, sorry to cut in.
Okay.
Remember at the time, as he was saying, like it was COVID. So as a creative, I was always in my bedroom, which I have a bedroom studio, and I was always working because I couldn't go anywhere. So since I was always working, I had a lot of songs that I had, and obviously couldn't record people because of the movement restrictions.
Movement restrictions, yeah.
So I had a lot of body of work, and he saw that I've been pushing a lot of work. So why not, since I have a lot that I can create into a project, not start with that rather than starting from scratch?
I see you.
Yeah.
No, cool stuff. We're gonna get right back into the conversation with Frenchboe and MGM TheGrand. Bona, don't go anywhere. We're gonna take a very, very quick short break. Run to the loo, grab a glass of water, grab a glass of whatever you're drinking. It's 5 p.m. somewhere out there in the world, and we're gonna be right back with you right after this. Cool stuff.
kanye nethulela i-share experience music concepts ezobe ngomhla ka-15 June 2024 kanti ke ithikithi u-R50 nje kuphela ungaphuthela ukuzosibukela bukhoma abaculi bakho benza ezibukwayo ayidibane khona eBells Arts Kitchens.
Welcome back, ngwana ko gae ke bua le wena le o reditseng le o shebeletseng from wherever you're tuned in, man. If you have just joined us and you've just tuned in, look, you're still right on time. You're on schedule to catch your favorite #1 hit audio and visual radio station, man. This is Share Online, and the rendezvous on a Tuesday afternoon is the Creative Corner, and this is where we discuss and talk about all things concerning and pertaining to the creative, the artistic, and as well as the entertainment spaces. You're still hanging out with me, the one and only MOOCEE, Mr. the international musician, all the way from Top Santon, right next to Zondi Hills, just before you get to Province. I love it. Yeah,
this is new.
And
I'm feeling the pressure. I'm feeling the pressure. Guys, I'm feeling the pressure.
I'm an international musician.
Okay, this is Knowles from.
You're really feeling the pressure.
I'm feeling the pressure.
So, yeah, man, we're still in conversation with MGM TheGrand and Frenchboe, musicians and artists and creatives from right here in Motopsenville. So the time right about now is 14:59, almost 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, 28th of May, 2024, the day before we go and make our crosses for the national elections.
Yes, Muslimist. Before Silkubega, remember we are big on giving platform to artists. So earlier on the show, we played Bridge the MC, Madam Jeke, Besiti Dali Kutle. After that, we played Caesar the Beast, City Redemption, Yes, and then Sanayo Andy, Messi Cape, Besiti Ngena Ngenok, by Valake Element Brothers, Beskabo Batlalangoko, together with Umchopi 97, Besiti Beke Zela. And also, if you want us to play your music, all you need to do is to go to the website yet, which is www.shareonline.co.za. You'll see Apoktua if you want to submit your music or sign the form, and then after that you submit ingoma zako so that we play them every day. Sisi alive. Ngalibalike also the number to call is 0615247758 if ufunu interactor no MGM and Frenchboe.
Frenchboe with a BOE, not a Y.
Not with a Y.
Guys, why Nindenza so?
Do you understand?
Guys, why?
We're gonna continue with our conversation. So I hear all of these things that you guys are saying and how you made it and how MGM Productions came through and how Frenchboe jumped on it, right? And you guys have been working.
We haven't made it yet.
No, I mean in terms of just the collaboration between the two of you guys, right? So I'll tell you with me, and this happened actually over the weekend, right?
Okay.
I was at a political party address on Sunday. So on Saturday, I attended a rehearsal for that. I won't mention which party it is. I don't want to be beaten on the socials. So, but we were invited. I sing for a choir called Africa Rise, and we were invited to be the entertainment at this address. So I guess this past weekend was like the last days for them to slot in the last few people to garner votes tomorrow. Yeah. So we go there, and so we're hanging out. Go the room ever feeling on, and there's this one guy who just joined the choir very recently. So he asks me, did you go to school for what you do? Because the way you put yourself out there and you articulate yourself and just your function in the space, you seem like someone who's been to school. And I tell him I haven't. Well, not formally anyway, not in a formal way. I've been to the School of Life. So did you guys go to school for any of the hats that you guys wear, from singer, songwriter, producer, engineering, DJing?
Well, the only thing that I studied formally was sound engineering for 1 year. Okay. I did a 1 year diploma in sound engineering and business management. But for the most part, I'm self-taught when it comes to the creative space.
I see.
Because I'm even beyond music. I'm also into graphic design and other aspects of the creative side of things that are helpful to my brand and my career. I would say that formal education is helpful if you can afford it, but really it's all about one's sort of inclination. Like you need to take the initiative yourself. Whether you can afford formal education or not, you can teach yourself, or there is enough information out there for you to learn what you need to learn in order for you to, especially in today's day and age where the internet has an abundance of information about everything. You know, so yeah, that's as far as my education is concerned. You know,
I see you.
Yeah,
I see you.
I'm not sure about. I'm not sure if Frenchboe has any formal. I think you had a mentor, yeah, DJ, at some point.
Okay, I hate school. I'm actually self-taught. Obviously, no one man is an island.
Yes.
You meet people here and there, and you learn things. And most of my hats, or rather all of them, self-taught from the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And I think as a creative, the best creatives in the world, you actually find that they don't have any formal schooling.
Yeah.
And that's because, as he spoke about, actually you as a being inclined with what you are feeling, which is obviously your craft. And for me, I see being a creative as a gift. It's a gift. It's like Upsangoma for me.
I see.
Me being a DJ, for me, it feels like a gift.
I see.
And I need to do it. If I don't do it, I'll be literally missing out on an opportunity to be the happiest person for the rest of my life, basically, because I would honestly be unhappy if I don't do these two things that I'm doing right now and doing something else.
I see you.
Okay. You know, Musine?
Yes.
I want us to talk about the relationship between a producer and an artist. Ne? Because one would say, I can do this. I do not need a producer. And a producer will say the same thing, but I can do this. I can produce my own music. Why do I need an artist?
I'm glad you asked that.
That's a very.
I'll create a very simple analogy.
Okay.
Think about radio, and they're only playing a cappellas.
Okay, can we at least voice
Okay.
here to see?
Think about listening to radio, and they're only playing a cappellas. Would you
Okay.
listen to it?
No.
If they're only playing instrumentals, would you listen to it?
Sometimes. I know Musi will.
Instrumentals only.
We'll get to that a bit later, but
Instrumentals only, 100% instrumental.
yes.
You wouldn't. So, however you would want to argue, we both need each other.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. On your side, Jim?
My view is this. An artist is the initiator of the idea, right? But in order to execute the end result and produce it for the world to hear, you need a producer.
Yes, true.
So for instance, I mean, as an artist, you can write the lyrics and you can compose the music and you know exactly what it sounds like in your head. But the producer is the one that translates what you hear in your head to what everybody else is going to hear with their ears.
The end product
right?
of it.
And sometimes the artist cannot be the producer.
Truth.
Right? Sometimes the artist can be the producer. Case in point, myself.
Yes.
Case in point, Frenchboe.
Frenchboe, yes.
But it doesn't always happen that way. And we can't all be jacks of all trades. We can't be all rounders. You know, so some of us have to specialize.
Yeah,
in certain
collaboration is
fields.
important as well.
That's why collaboration is so important these days.
So, okay, let's draw some boundaries between an artist and a producer. Let me say, I'm an artist. I come to your studio. I say, I've got this song I want to record.
Yeah.
And you can hear, uba no man knows bed. Ne? What do we do? Do you allow me to record the song and then
Can I answer that one?
Yes, please.
You know, we have a very distinct way of how we work with people.
Okay.
First and foremost, you guys, as the artist and the producer, it's very important, and I don't think a lot of people do it. It's very important that you somehow get to form a relationship before you even work together.
Okay.
Because energy is very important.
It is.
It is super important. how I work with people, if somebody DMs me on social media and says they want to work, I would always say the first time we meet is like a meet and greet and chill.
Okay.
Get to know each other and then be comfortable.
Siphuza mabe.
Be comfortable, whether it's a milkshake, doesn't really matter. So be comfortable with the person you're going to work with.
Okay.
And to a point where when that time comes and you need to actually address something as a producer to the artist, you're comfortable enough to actually point out or give direction, because that's going to happen. And sometimes there's going to be a clash of heads.
There is.
Okay.
Actually, not
So
sometimes,
you've
a lot of
created
times.
like an environment where
There's
you
a
guys are
bond.
comfortable with it.
Yeah, there's
with
a
each other.
bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you.
I don't know if you want to add on that.
But okay.
Well, I was gonna say something similar. I was gonna say it depends. You know how I am. I always say it depends, and really it depends on what. Because first of all, it's important to understand that as MGM Productions, we provide a fairly wide array of services. Some of those services include simply mixing and mastering. Some of them include producing from beginning to end.
Some
of them
just recording.
Some is just recording. Some of it is like looking at your entire brand and helping you with everything. So that's part of what is involved in the decision as to how involved we will be in your music. There's people that come to me as just clients and all they want is just mixing and mastering. So
strictly business.
That's just business. I'm just going to mix and master your stuff. I'm not necessarily going to critique and say, hey, your sound is terrible or your sound is good, because you have something very specific in mind that you want.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
going to deliver that.
Yeah.
But if you come to me as a creative and you're like, I want you to produce me or I want you to help me with my music, very much like what Frenchboe said, we have to have a creative relationship that works. There has to be some kind of a chemistry. So I'll oftentimes have a jam session, 1 or 2 jam sessions, where we will come together in studio and jam and see what we can come up with together. And based
Okay.
on that, we can then have a collaborative relationship.
I'll tell you, it's very, and they're raising very, very, very cool points.
Okay.
And these are things that I've gone through from both aspects that they're raising, right? From both an aspect of we don't necessarily have to have like a social relationship.
Or yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because I've had
Or necessarily give you creative input in that
Yes.
sense. Ya gore,
Yes.
I want to help your brand,
Yes.
but I'm just here to give you a service.
Because
You know what I
as
mean?
an
This-
artist,
this-
as Musi
yeah.
Mist, I see that there's this production from Right Here Motopsi, Lena as Motopsi. Oh, plus Bamukasi. MGM, I have this, that, and the other. This is what I want. This is. Because sometimes what happens, and we were having a conversation about it before we started the show, is that what Frenchboe or MGM specializes in is not what I want help
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, Otota Music Waka or my project, mix it, master it, and that's it. As opposed to what Thabo mentioned, Jorge, this is maybe going to be an elongated type of project that is going to require us to spend more time with each other, right? We can't deny the fact, or we can't shy away from the fact that it's not only going to be business orientated. There's going to be a social aspect. More or we bring each other in the right direction. So Mariano, we've created an environment, a comfortable environment with each other, that we are able to discipline each other in.
I think the reason why I'm doing that more and I'm more swaying onto the side of creating relationship is because I am not providing a service. I'm a producer.
Okay.
So I have to work with an artist that has the same energy as I do. That's why it's somehow different to
from where
his
he's coming from.
explanation,
I
yeah.
see you.
So-
And I resonate with that so much, the energy thing, and yeah.
Sorry. So how do you balance things then if you've got to Nolu, who's an artist? When you're a producer, we come together. Frenchboe, please, I need your help. Ne? Please help me produce umculo wam. And you can hear, man, but no, man, it's not good. Ne?
I can-
Now we need to balance your creativity
Yeah.
and my vision.
Okay, first and foremost, we would have to be somehow aligned
Okay.
Yeah.
in regards to even if my vision is not the same as yours, but we have to have some similarities in regards to the direction and the journey. Because I don't think as a producer, I would want to start working with somebody who is where I was 8 years ago. That's me going back and not forward.
But you
in my
helping me,
journey.
Jenna.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
I can help you in other ways
Okay.
by giving you suggestions, by letting you know what's important before you can rush into getting onto a mic and recording. Getting lessons. There's a lot that I can help you with by just giving you advice before you think you are ready. You know what I mean?
Maybe I can chip in that regard, Tabo. So, remember when you started working on...
Okay, can we come closer to the mic, please?
Yes. If you remember when we started working on Somewhere in Dobsonville, Tabo, this was in 2020 when we started working on it, right? You had a very specific vision about what you wanted the end project to sound like, what you wanted it to be, how many songs you wanted to be on it, and how long it was going to take. There was an education process that you went through with me where I was showing you that there's certain aspects that cannot happen the way that you think. I also went through a learning curve because the genre that we were dealing with is not one that either one of us had actually dabbled in. So there was a whole development process that took place there. Now, to be more specific in answering your question, Nolune, if you come to me as a new artist, there's a certain aspect of transparency that's involved. I have to be able to be, quote unquote, brutally honest with you at some point.
You have to believe in somebody to actually work with them.
Yes.
You have to.
So you can come to me and say, I am an amazing artist. And then if I hear your stuff and you're terrible.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding.
I'm going to tell you in not so many words that you're terrible. I'm going to tell you.
But this is how you can actually fix it.
I'll be harsh, but I'll tell you this is what you need to do. You need to go for singing lessons. You need to check out this YouTube channel, or you need to read this book, or whatever.
Yeah, it's always better to educate.
I'm not just going to be on some, because that's another aspect of that whole the old music industry thing.
Versus what?
Where
like, hey, you suck.
Where
that's it.
there was this brutality about just not giving a damn about how.
It still happens. Though.
And the thing is, with this industry, guys, it's really important to recognize that as creatives, we put ourselves into everything that we do.
Yes.
So if anybody's
not a 9 to 5, this is a 24/7.
If anybody's
job.
gonna diss you, then it's gonna have a personal impact on you.
Yes, definitely.
So I'm always having that approach. If I'm gonna tell somebody that they are not great, I'll give them reasons why, so that they can understand why.
In a positive way.
And I will tell them that this is what you can do to be better.
To improve.
That way, you're not walking away as if, oh, I suck, I might as well just stick to my day job.
Yes. Yes.
So talk to me. What do I need to do to be better?
Well, I don't know yet. You haven't approached me yet.
I want to be better.
You can put a lot of auto-tune.
Look, man, we're still in conversation with MGM TheGrand and Tabo, aka Frenchboe from right here in Dobsonville, singers, songwriters, producers, sound engineers, and DJs, man. So, look,
and myself.
What's this, Nolu? We're still to find out what she
future singer.
So please, man.
Future featuring.
Yes.
Do stay tuned in. We're not going anywhere. What we're about to do right now, for just a second, we're gonna grab a glass of water, grab a glass of juice, cool drink, something maybe alcohol, turning alcoholic, because it's 5 p.m. somewhere out in the world, right? And we're gonna run to the loo, maybe have a smoke as well, or whatever you wanna do, and we'll be right back with you right after this cool stuff.
ishe online inethulela ishe experience music concepts ezobe ngomhla ka-15 June 2024 kanti ke ithikithi u-50 rand nje kuphela ungaphuthela ukuzosibukela bukhoma abaculi bakho benza ezibukwayo ayidibane khona eBells Arts Kitchens.
Welcome back, man. And from wherever you are tuned in, you are still right on time, right on schedule to catch your favorite #1 hit audio and visual radio station brought to you by Share Online. This is the Creative Corner, and this is where we discuss and talk about all things concerning and pertaining to the creative, the artistic, and as well as the entertainment spaces. You're still hanging out with me, MOOCEE Mr. That's Musi Mr. across all my social media platforms, man. The time right now is 21 minutes past 3 on a Tuesday afternoon. And the date is the 28th of May, a day before we slot in our
Judgment
crosses.
Day.
Yeah, I like that. So if you want to continue engaging with us, we go by Share Online across all our social media platforms. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and as well as YouTube. And if you perhaps want to send us your WhatsApp voice notes, you want to text us, you want to call us, you want to video call us. I don't think people trust the fact that they can video call us live, right? I don't know why, because they never do it. At most, they call and they send in voice notes. So the number to dial for that is 061-524-7758. That's 061-524-7758. And I'm not alone, as usual.
After such intro, Kubulanda. Thank you very much. Okay, just a quick reminder, on the 15th of June 2024 we have Econ's music concert that will be held at Bells Arts Kitchen. Apho guesses obese jive. We've got a line up here to your right, ishushu yongindim nandi for 150 rand. You get to come and dine with myself, Nolunals. Yes. You get to come and enjoy. Guys, we've got so many people who line up, such as Ugazu Soul Music, Lunga Kwabe, and then the Twinkie. All, Baninsi guys. Come. Yeah.
An amazing poet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not performing when on that day?
No. I'm a celebrity like I.
Okay.
So I want to marvel that they're going to be engaging with me as one of the personalities from here at Share Online.
Okay, guys. So now I'll be opening, guys. I'm also a singer, yes.
Okay.
I can give you one or two.
You're semi-auditioning right now.
No, guys. I know I'm big.
Whatever time for like 5 seconds.
Why are you so?
So what she does, because I think of all the personalities we have here, I think I'm the singer. I'm the only singer performer type of. Okay. So I've never heard this lady sings. Okay. So she's constantly asking me to sing for anyone who's watching out there.
So you're putting on the chopping block.
Exactly, I am. Like, I'm giving the show to my telephone now. Where she's asking me, hey, Musi, please, especially
it's called karma.
Especially when I mention, it is, you're right, Tabu. Especially when I mentioned, over the weekend I was doing this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
That has to do with me being on stage, right? The other weekend I was out at the Soweto Fashion Week.
Right.
And I was the opening act for the Soweto Fashion Week. And she's like, hi, please, and go to where so
after the break it's fine. So okay guys, let's go back to Igesti Zetu. You know, there's a thing musicians do. They tend to take the business side aside and then they deal with the craft. Now I'm happy that you guys are here. You've got the MGM TheGrand, and then you are producers and also artists. Please help artists who are watching right now to balance izinto.
Okay.
How do we balance things?
I'm going to start with something that I actually didn't do.
Okay.
Which is the business side of things. I didn't give the audience my social media handles.
Okay.
It's very important to put your brand out there as much as possible. I'm Frenchboe, BOE, not with a Y, on all social media platforms. So that's one thing I'd like to encourage the up-and-comers. I'm also an up-and-comer who obviously strongly believes that I'm definitely going to make it. But you need to understand that the business side of things is what can actually make or break you. Because if you don't know so much of what needs to be done after a recording or after you have done what you need to do in studio, it can only lead you to a certain direction.
What do I need to do in studio?
Obviously, you need to record a song that is good enough. We call it radio-ready songs. You need to record a song that is good enough to actually entice the next person to say, nah, this is a good joint. And then afterwards, that's where 80% of the work comes in. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, think about it in a sense of gym. 70% of the work at gym is actually done in a kitchen. And not a lot of people would understand that. They would think if I have to be big or slim, I have to actually spend a lot of time in gym.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's actually more of the work is outside of the studio, where you need to go out, network. You need to have a goal. You need to have a brand strategy. You need to do a lot of research, educate yourself in this craft. And I strongly believe if this is a career for you, you don't treat it like a hobby.
Yeah.
Because if you treat it like a hobby, it will give you the results of a hobby.
So, talk to me. When do I register my song? Do I register after recording it or before?
I think he'll do the talking when it comes to that.
Okay.
Well, it's advisable to register your song as soon as possible.
Okay.
And the reason why you would do that is because you have already registered yourself as a composer.
Okay.
With the relevant PRO. You've registered yourself as an artist as well. So you need to make sure that you are registered with Samro, with Sampra, with Capasso, with Risa. And by so doing, you can make it very easy for yourself to submit your works to these entities whenever you create something that's new.
Okay.
Right? So that's the really important thing. Register your submit your music as soon as possible.
Okay, let me take you back. You mentioned something. You said you also registered as a PRO, right?
No. I said you need to register with PROs.
Okay, talk to me.
So Samro, Sampra, Capasso, Risa.
Okay.
These are 4 entities that effectively collect royalties for artists in South Africa. And every country has these entities in existence. You, as an artist, need to make sure you are registered with all of these entities so that you can collect all of your royalties accordingly, whether it's for airplay of your music, whether somebody covers your song, whether your song is used on radio, whether it's used for a soundtrack, whether it's used in an ad or in a movie or whatever. You need to make sure that all of these entities are covered so you can collect your royalties accordingly. Now, a lot of times artists are not aware of this.
Yes.
Right? And that's part of the problem. That's why artists get ripped off all the time.
That's what I was talking about, researching and educating yourself.
And I would say that at this point in the music industry, it really is a responsibility of the artist to educate themselves, because there's almost no longer an excuse not to know.
Truth.
Right? You can't really say, I don't know how to get royalties, when you have the internet that tells you exactly how to get your... Unlike in the 80s or the 90s or even the early 2000s, where this information was exclusive to only a handful of people. You know, so it's really, I would say that to you as an artist out there who's a creative, make sure you go online and learn as much as possible about Samro, Sampra, Capasso, and Risa, what they do, why they are important, and why you need to register with them.
I see you.
Okay, I've registered my song now. After recording or before, what do I do? Where do I go after that?
Well, after you've registered your song, you need to consider certain aspects about how do you want your song to come out.
Okay.
Right? There's a number of ways that you can release it to the public. You can go with a distribution deal. You can just upload it to SoundCloud. You know, you can, there's all kinds of options that are available. What I would say though is that probably the smartest thing to do is to find a distributor, an online distributor that
Okay.
can help you put your music out there, right? And when you do that, it's ideal to have some kind of a strategy in mind about how you are going to market that song once it's out there and it's available to the public. So it's one thing. So it's one thing for it to be available on all the platforms. I mean, anybody can do that. It's easy.
Sure.
It almost doesn't even. It actually doesn't cost any money to do that.
Sure.
Right. What does cost money though is getting people to know about it.
Yeah.
Right. So you need to have like a
Marketing strategy.
plan about how you're going to market like you said, a marketing strategy, and often that requires some funding, guys.
Yeah, not often, all the time.
The music industry,
it's-
one thing that
know?
people don't actually speak about, especially the ones that actually have kicked through the door, is that they don't talk about how expensive this industry is.
Yeah.
You need to actually put in a lot of money. You need to put in a lot of money in order to get back that money quadrupled. You know what I mean? So you need to invest in your craft. Yeah, you can carry on. You can carry on.
So my thing is, I'm resonating. Like I'm right there with you guys, because I'm someone who's in the space as well. And it's funny that you mentioned all these entities, right? Not so long ago, less than a month ago, or about a month ago, I'm not sure if it's Sampro or Sambro, artists were boycotting and vouching for a boycott of Sambro. I don't know why. I didn't really get into it. I don't know why, but the little that I did hear and read about was that Okare Sambro was ripping people off from, because you know how when I release a song, as Azania is about to come out, right? You don't come back and check after 6 months. Maybe a year and 6 months later. Right? Ideally.
But it's now 3 months.
And
now.
in fact,
Is it 3 months now?
it's 3 months.
Okay.
no, I mean
But for like-
they pay out every 3 months.
Every 3 months. But how about Tola, like,
lump sum, yeah.
And especially when you're starting out,
Absolutely.
you're gonna have to wait a bit.
And chances are you don't have a distributing deal out there, right? Because it's gonna take away from whatever you guys agreed upon. So would you advise for things like that? For a boycott of these entities that in essence help an artist to
look,
put their stuff out there.
I have I have a conflicting relationship with authority figures and sort of establishment.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
And I can appreciate, like, I have this, I can understand why people push back against authority, the whole mentality of, like the Illuminati and things of that nature, and how there's positions of authority that are trying to control everyone and do things the way that they want. And but I push back against that because I'm like, I would rather know as much as possible about these entities than to push against them.
I see.
So I would rather not boycott Samro. I would rather learn as much about Samro as possible,
And learn
so that
from Samro.
and learn from them and learn what it is actually that they're doing, than to be on some they're ripping us off, that without really understanding how they're ripping us off. Because half the time the people that say they're ripping us off, they don't have all of the information
And the knowledge.
right? And I think it's, like I said, like I've been trying to push before, it's so important for us guys to educate ourselves and to get the right information from the right sources.
Yeah, man.
And so if you're going to boycott Samro, please make sure you're boycotting Samro based on information that's accurate about Samro. Don't just be basing it on some stuff you saw
Online.
on Facebook.
And have a plan.
and also
Boycott and
You have
what's
backup.
next.
You have somewhere you'll land.
have a strategy in mind about what does this boycott mean and where are we going forward. But ultimately, educate yourselves, guys, and educate yourselves with the right info, please.
I
Because
see you, man.
Xolweni, I want to take you guys back kancinci. Before we were talking about royalties and everything, and we've seen lately on social media artists coming out that so and so and so ripped me off. He produced Tile, took A, B, and C from me. He produced Tile. And we've seen other producers coming and saying, if you come to my studio, record songs, eat my food and all, I own the music.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk to artists.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's for real.
It's a real thing.
If you use my electricity,
It's a real
I
thing.
own your
Oh my
music.
goodness.
It's a real thing. And
So,
It's not as simple as that, no, but
Yeah, the concept.
yeah, the idea, yeah.
Now let's talk to artists. This platform is to educate, empower artists.
Yes.
Right. So there are artists out there who just perform for the sake of I need money. If they were to be presented with a deal, they'll fall for it because they're desperate. Now at least you guys.
that's what
have
happens
walked-
most of the time.
Yeah. At least you guys have walked the way.
Yes.
Can you talk to them?
Going back to the point of education.
Yeah.
If you educate yourself well enough, you'll have the right knowledge, you'll have the right experience.
What's the right knowledge?
The right knowledge is knowing when a deal is right or wrong.
How do I know that?
If you have like a strategy, right,
Okay.
that we were speaking about earlier, you would know if you are supposed to be paid an X amount versus an X amount for a performance.
Okay.
You would know if signing this contract that has some form of loophole that doesn't work in your favor, if it's right or wrong. And if you were to go and work with Musi right now and he brings out a split sheet that is not on, you would know because of all the information you've been gathering. So when we talk about education, from day one, when you start learning about your craft, to 7 years later when, let's say, Coca-Cola wants to give you a deal,
Yep.
you are preparing yourself you have been preparing yourself for 7 years for that deal to actually happen, so that when it happens, you are well equipped in your mind to know if this is right or wrong. And it's easy for you to say to Coca-Cola, I don't need your 10 million because somebody else is going to give me 50. Even if there is no contract.
Yes.
Because you know your worth based on the knowledge that you've gathered for that amount of years.
Another thing that I would speak to, guys, is I think it's really important as maybe not even just as artists or creative people, but as a person, you kind of have to humble yourself to how much you know versus how much you don't know, right? And when you look at how much you don't know versus how much you know, you'll actually realize how much like there's a vast array of things that you are unaware of. And as a result of that, sometimes you end up asking maybe even the wrong questions, right? If you want to investigate the moon and you're like, I want to find out what kind of cheese the moon is made of. Already your first question is wrong because it's not made of cheese.
Yes.
Right? So it's important to know what questions to ask and then look to sources of information that have a proven track record to show that, oh, this is actually accurate information versus this is some know-it-all that's claiming to know everything right now and is popular on social media and as such, you know what I mean?
I see.
So you need to you need to be able to scrutinize, and it's part of learning how to consume information just in general, but then also zeroing in on specifics about what you want to know about. So, like for instance, with me, it took me how long did it take me to learn about how royalties work? Actually, it took freaking years, man.
Yeah, it's
years. And I've been doing this thing on and off for easily at least 20 years now.
I see.
You know, and there's people that are in the industry now who've been in it for years who still don't understand how royalties work.
I want to cut it short in regards to answering a question. I'm not going to name the actual artist that said the whole imali ami, you eating my food, my electricity. So basically, what that guy was doing it in a street way.
Yeah.
If a corporate like these big labels were to actually say the same, they would do it but in a different way. But he is correct because every single amount that they spend on an artist and using resources and tools that are yours, essentially you actually own whatever that you guys are doing together.
I see you. No, man, very cool stuff. Like, we're learning here. We're learning. So we're still in conversation, man, with MGM TheGrand and Frenchboe, learning about royalties, how to get your music out there, and all things concerning to the music, artistic, and creative spaces, man, essentially. So right about now, I want us to take a very quick break. And the song that we're going to be listening to is Gracer featuring Shadow, and they're saying Letting Go. So the time right about now is 15:42. That's almost quarter to 4 on a Tuesday afternoon. So go grab a glass of water, go to the loo very quickly, and we'll see you right after this.
Sekunjalo, ishe online inethulela ishe experience music concepts ezobe ngomhla ka-15 June 2024. Kanti ke i-ticket u-R50 nje kuphela. Ungaphuthela ukuzosibukela bukhoma abaculi bakho benza ezivukwayo. Ayidibane khona eBells Arts Kitchens.
So I gotta let you go. Cause I never know you'd change on me. I thought umuchuaga. Unalibu imama we, unolitata mawe. I just wanna free my soul. Cause in the end my happiness comes first. And regardless of that I just wanna reach my goal. I'm grateful for the blessing, thank you next. Don't holler me, holler me, holler me. Don't holler me, holler me, yeah. I am letting go. Utoba bwima kyatibana. Jona wa kyutwa bushukuma. Impact one associates sena. I'm still running for my dreams, yeah. I thought I was doing everything you said, but I was a fool to believe your crap. Now I'm stranded on my own with no plan. I'm still running for my dreams, yeah. I thought I was doing everything you said, but I was a fool to believe your crap. Now I'm stranded on my own with no plan.
When you told me that you love me, I thought maybe you was acting funny. Tell me, is it fine if I call you my bunny? Cause I keep on effing out, but you can blame it on me. I try to let it sip it, then I let it go. I got a lot of problems, I don't want it on my zone. Tell me you never cared, then I promise I'll be gone. I don't wanna keep on nagging and begging, I've got a choice, no. Look for me lang aleva fan. Angum chite sonde hele wen bafan. Utando lung so lile sentabang ugega man. Rain, I feel like I'm feeling be a cave of fun. Gully silly goes, on the falling goes. So unzima, hegunzima, yanke lilindong.
Sekunjalo, ishe online inethulela ishe experience music concepts ezobe ngomhla ka-15 June 2024. Kanti ke i-ticket u-R50 nje kuphela. Ungaphuthela ukuzosibukela bukhoma abaculi bakho benza ezivukwayo. Ayidibane khona eBells Arts Kitchens.
If you've just tuned in once again and you've just joined us, Bona, you're still right on time, right on schedule to catch your favorite #1 hit radio, audio and visual radio station. This is Share Online, and the rendezvous on a Tuesday afternoon is the Creative Corner. This is where we discuss and talk about all things concerning and pertaining to the creative, the artistic, and as well as the entertainment spaces. And you're still hanging out with me, MOOCEE Mist. If you wanna get in touch with us on WhatsApp, the number to dial is 061-524-7758. That's 061-524-7758. And right now we're streaming live on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and as well as YouTube. The time now is 15:46 on a Tuesday afternoon on the 28th of May 2024. And we're still in studio, continuing with our conversation with MGM TheGrand and Frenchboe from right here, Motopsenville, singer, songwriter, producer, DJ, and sound engineer. So if you want to find out a bit more about all of those spaces, this is the right platform. I'm not hanging out alone, man. I'm not going alone. I'm with the one and only.
I get it. I won't leave you hanging. So let me quickly remind people that on the 15th of June 2024, we have a shared experience music concert that will be held at Bell's Arts Kitchen in Dobsonville Extension 4, right? So for only 50 Rand, you get to come, Ozotlala Nati, and other presenters together with Line Abie to Air Stronger, Snaboge Oslo Magoye, Gazu Soul Music, The Twinkie, Nabanye, Singalibelanga, KFM. Please do go to the website, the NAC, and see opportunities. Ozazi Fumana. There's a PESP 5 funding that is currently running. It will be closed on the 21st of June. Do not miss out, guys. So, guys, remember last week I asked do you know any opportunities for the artist, or what was the question?
No, it was. We were talking about accessibility of opportunities for artists in our communities, and so we were sharing whether there are opportunities, firstly, and if there are, how accessible are they? You know, for people like us, for singers, songwriters, performing artists, you know, in our local communities. And what I mentioned, is, look, man, Frenchboe, and when we got here earlier on, we seemed familiar to each other, but we've never actually worked together. He's worked with local artists from Mokasi. I've worked with local artists from Mokasi, but not all of us have never worked with each other together as a collective.
That's about to change.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And it's things like that we were talking about last week. Now I mentioned Motopsenville as artists. It's every man for himself.
Isolated.
We are very scattered.
We are.
I don't know what's about.
You know, I think because there are lack of opportunities, ne? So if I grab something now, why should I share with
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Because I see what
there's a sense of there's a mentality that there is scarcity.
Yeah.
And there's a lack of abundance, and if you find an opportunity, then you must cling on to it, and then everybody else whereas really what it's about, it's I don't think there's anything that improves without some kind of a community-based effort, right? So, and like like French said earlier on, no man is an island.
The power of collab.
So once you start working with other people, that vision that you have expands beyond anything that you could have even imagined.
Absolutely.
So why not work with other people? And why not see how far you can go if you expand your thinking with another person's mind and create sort of like a mastermind, if you will, you know?
I'm always very happy when somebody says, I'd like to work with you.
Yeah.
First thing I say is, send me a little something so I can hear your voice. So that I'm a type of producer that doesn't have beats laying around. I work specifically for you. If I do a beat, it's for Nolu. If I create a beat, it's for you for nobody else. If you don't want to work on it, then the next person comes in, then I'll do or create something for them. So every time my eyes light up when somebody wants to work, because that's an opportunity of a different network, of different people that I'm going to meet that I don't have right now in my circle. So it's very important to actually collaborate. And right now, I would like to say the worst thing to do for any artist, and especially here in Dobsonville, because we all know that there is not that huge of a unity. I would strongly advise that collab with as many people as possible. You'd be amazed actually how far you can get because of collaborating. Because this is a very big table. We can all eat.
Yes.
We can all eat.
I was actually about to ask you guys if you guys vouch for specifically for you guys, right? Do you vouch for collaborations on that level?
No, absolutely.
You know,
by all means.
I'll say with me,
In fact, I would just say right off the bat that if you are looking to collaborate, you can contact MGM TheGrand at MGM TheGrand Official or MGM Productions Official. Or you can contact 073 222 6463 for any opportunities you might be looking for.
Yeah.
But with that being said, collaborating is absolutely important. I mean, that's the only way to expand and to grow this thing.
I'll tell you why I ask you that question, Sis Nolu. I'm very specific and nitty-gritty about who I work with. That's why I mentioned that I really resonate with what you mentioned in terms of energies and vibrations and all of those things. Because
that nuance, it's very important.
If you and I are not vibrating on the same level, Sis Nolu, it makes it quite a bit of a challenge for me specifically. Because, hey man, if it's like, hey, my dude.
Do you know what's going to happen?
It affects
the end result.
Exactly.
Yeah. The song won't actually do what it's supposed to do to the next ear.
You know, you guys, people like us, we sing.
People like
the energy is not good.
I love it. Yeah, man. So I really resonate with that. So I think I'm drawn to a bit more what you said in terms of collaborations and stuff like that. But it also, what contributes to it is I'm specific about the music that I consume, what I listen to. So I'm not one of those artists that just listens to everything.
A good producer.
One of the things I was gonna say was, sorry, man. One of the things I was gonna say that is slightly different in my approach to production, because obviously we're all producers here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know whether it has anything to do with the fact that I've been playing around with different genres more. I don't know, but I do have music that I create with, let's say, a certain artist in mind, and then I put it aside. Okay. And then when that artist comes along, I'm like, hey, try this out. You know what I mean? So I have a database of stuff.
I see you.
Right? That I think can work for other artists. Because when I produce music, I don't always necessarily produce it for MGM TheGrand.
Okay.
I'm sometimes producing music with the idea that, okay, this is going to be for somebody else who feels it. Right? But then, of course, there will be those situations and opportunities when an artist comes and wants to work with you, and you're just like, okay, I haven't created anything like what this guy is going to work with. Yeah. So let me start something from scratch, and you know what I mean? With me, it's always like, it depends, but it's always important to have that sort of flexibility, right? That ability to be versatile and to also make sure that you keep your ear open for new things and new ways of evolving music. Because one of the things that I try and especially encourage Frenchboe about is don't do what's trending now.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Take what's trending now and flip it into what's going to trend tomorrow, right? Because by so doing, you're thinking about the future. You're not thinking about just now and what's going to trend now. And what you're doing now could fizzle out in the next couple of months. So you don't want a situation where you create something, release it, but by the time it's like kind of gaining popularity, there's already something else that's trending.
Okay. Let's talk about Amapiano. Amapiano, see, I was there trending, they were making waves, so and so. So, what you're trying to say is, do not focus on Amapiano.
Okay. I think I'll answer for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think what he's trying to say is, find a perfect balance.
Okay.
Don't be just riding the wave of everything trending.
What's relevant now?
Yeah, what's relevant now. You need to have a sound of your own. You know what I mean? For example, Amapiano is the biggest wave right now in the world. So what you would want to do is, rather than going on Amapiano and catching, there's sub-genres in Amapiano and catching something that's trending right now. Look at the classics. Create the classics so that whenever a trend changes, with a classic, nothing changes, right?
Okay.
You can wear an all-star right now, 50 years later, it will still be relevant.
Yeah.
So find a perfect balance on what you choose in whatever wave that you will be riding, because you don't want to find yourself like bubblegum and there's no more flavor tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to add on to what you're saying, Joe, I would like, if you learn the fundamentals of whatever it is that you're that you want to dabble into, then so let me put it this way: if you learn the rules, you know what rules to break.
Okay.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, Musi?
Yes, it's not.
We've heard songs. Kibele Maikati, yeah, that's the song.
Yeah.
Now, I want us to talk about the importance of writing meaningful songs. Rather than saying, yeah.
That's going back to what I just said. Like, stick to a classic.
Okay.
Something that's timeless. And you know, if you write a song that's spiritual right now, it will resonate to the next person who listens to it after 20 years.
Yeah.
Because you can't say spirituality is a trend. You know what I mean? If you write a birthday song, there'll still be birthdays after 20 years. You know what I mean? So always be very smart about it.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
So, but here's the thing with what Tusisnolo is saying. So, if I approach any of you guys, right, as a musician.
Yeah.
or
what like a Kwabo Yebo.
Yes. And look, I'm not looking to form a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Or a social relationship.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to record my stuff, and I'm someone like, I want a banger now. I want something now. Into Shisa now, chief. Like for the winter. One understand that?
Then you can speak to him.
So
you know what? No.
What happens?
Not even.
Are we going back to the thing where you guys will, if you hear what stuff Saga is not on, are you going to advise me and educate me? Or are you going to take my stuff? Are you going to take my stuff, do what is needed from me, and that's it?
First and foremost, what I would do is explain to you how I work.
Okay.
It's very important.
Okay.
Because we are collaborating.
Yes, sir.
It's not about you. When the song comes out, it will be your name and my name on it. So we need to understand where we are going with this.
Oh, I see.
And I stress the point that I don't work with people for now. I'm all about long-term relationships.
Longevity.
Yes. So if you want a services-based relationship and you want a banger, there's other people that can do that for you.
Okay, I see.
But I can also drag you into MGM Productions.
I see you.
Because he offers those services as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you come as a one-liner guy who just wants to put out something quick, no, sure, I can help you out.
And there's nothing wrong with
as long
that.
as you pay, as long as you pay for the services, because there is a fee for those services.
Definitely.
But now understand, a lot of times, and a lot of artists often want to approach you for studio time, expecting that you're just going to record them and stick with them for as long as their career is, or for as long as they're interested in music, and in hopes that the song they recorded with you will blow up one day, and that's how you're going to get your money back. And it's like, no, but I mean,
going back to investing,
we're trying to invest in a future here, number one. Number two, we're trying to create something that will stand the test of time. So are we just doing a bubblegum, or are we, what's our vision?
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with those type of people.
No, there isn't.
One-liners, because there's different types of artists.
There isn't.
So we shouldn't actually exclude them from the music sense. We should actually appreciate them because they have bangers out there that we all dance to. You know what I mean?
I actually wanted to add on to that, Tabo. So what you find often is that the guys that come through with like the kind of one-liner stuff, they have a personality. They have a personality that can be converted into a brand that's monetizable.
Oh yes, actually, yes,
Right?
yes.
And so it's not just about them hitting the one-liners. It's about how do they hit the one-liners and what are they doing when they hit the one-liners. So when they perform, the performance is that much more interesting.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I think it's also like a lifestyle thing.
Exactly.
A personality thing.
Yes.
It's not gore ka fitla ke le musi, whining a lot.
Yes.
Like it's what I
Like
like.
it's a character that people get
it's a persona.
Get accustomed.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you're
persona.
selling. You're not just selling the one-liners. You're selling the
Because
persona.
remember, you can find somebody who is an amazing songwriter, but
They can't
performance-wise,
perform the
they're
style.
horrible.
suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So both are all important.
To jump on those lyrics and the song and
Say
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. That's why I always talk about a perfect balance. You need to.
Truth. I see you guys now, man. This is, and I think that's what a lot of artists don't recognize, and a lot of producers as well. Because what you find, like us, is a whole lot of us use backroom studios, right? It's very rare where you find we are exposed to a professional setting. Studio 50 channel and so I won't necessarily say forced, but what we have at our disposal is backroom studios. And what you find at backroom studios is a lot of the people who record there or who approach MGM and more Frenchboe is artists like that. And we like people are gravitate to what is relevant now and what's popping now, and they barely ever think about longevity.
There's an advantage and a disadvantage
To
to
that,
those type of
absolutely.
people because we have to cherish what the industry has done in regards to making sure that we have bedroom studios.
Yeah.
Those people didn't have opportunities to go to these 50 channel studios. Right now we do, but now what they do is they neglect other things, aspects that they need to learn
Artists
about.
on the ground.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just concentrate on, hey, now I have a studio. I can make songs. That's not the only important thing.
Ah man, like I feel like we had very limited time because there was quite
Have us over, man, next time.
Call us again.
There was still quite a bit to get in
Before we
conversation
conclude,
about.
Mr.
Yes,
Nest,
no.
let's just drink some water and then come back.
And then we'll
again.
come back very quickly. Cool stuff. Wanna go high? Please do stay tuned in. We're gonna have Frenchboe and MGM TheGrand for the last segment of the show remaining for today, and then we'll be right back with you right after. So don't go anywhere.
Sekunjalo, ishe online inethulela ishe experience music concepts ezobe ngomhla ka-15 June 2024 kanti ke ithikithi u-50 nje kuphela ungaphuthela ukuzosibukela bukhoma abaculi bakho benza ezibukwayo ayidibane khona eBells Arts Kitchens.
Welcome back, Monokohai. So we're about to finish off with Frenchboe and MGM TheGrand. Get out of the grind. And
Well, it is a grind, so.
I see you. So they're still in conversation with us, wrapping up very quickly about their journeys in the entertainment, the creative, and the artistic spaces, man, where they have been, where they are right now, and where they're moving to, possibly in the future. So, Cisnolo, do you have anything else?
Yes, I do have a question before we talk about their music. So, Lulu is here. I'm an artist. I'm coming to you for an advice. What qualities do I look for when choosing a producer?
It's actually cool.
That's a very good question. It's a very good question.
Okay.
And try to be as objective and non-biased as you can be.
I'm trying to think of this from a perspective of an artist now, because obviously that's how you need somebody who, first of all, is sensitive to your vision.
Okay.
Right? You need somebody who, first of all, will be able to listen to what you have done, and listen without critiquing, like as in listen from beginning to end.
A good producer is a good listener.
Yeah. And then after that, they can critique and tell you what they like, what they don't like, what areas of improvement there are, and where they can help you.
Okay.
That's pretty much in a nutshell what I would say you're looking for in a producer.
Same for
if
me.
if a producer can't do any of those things, then it's not a producer.
Red flag.
I see you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Now, one question before we go to them.
Yes.
Okay.
From me or from you?
I'll ask.
Okay.
And then you'll have your one question, and then we jump to them.
Yeah.
So, I want us to talk. In fact, I want you guys to advise artists who are watching right now, who are in this industry, who just perform for riders and everything. I want you guys to speak to them, to take the craft and turn it into business rather than performing for riders.
Okay, I'm going to hand that over to French.
Okay, what's very important is going back to what I said earlier.
I saw the voice and wanted the advice.
Education.
Motivational speaker.
Education, guys. I will not stress this enough. You need to research.
Yeah.
You need to find as much information as possible out there. There is no excuse. In the world that we live in right now, there is no excuse to say, but I don't know this. You have enough money for TikTok. You have enough money for Facebook, and looking at all those things that are not important. Make sure you take your resources, you take your finances, and channel them accordingly for your vision.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, you are going to lack here and there. And find people who are aligned with what you are doing, who are going to support you. Because we find ourselves in circles and friendships that won't work for where you want to go. So if you identify that, move away from that. Because you do need to move away from that. Otherwise, you will not get to the plateau that you are thinking of. Because there are people out there who are willing to work with you, who are willing to sacrifice certain things, who are willing to invest in your craft. But if you don't actually try and find those people by networking, you will not get to that point in your career that you want to go. So,
if I can just add one last thing, right? One of the things that we mentioned earlier is that this industry is very expensive and it requires a lot of money for you to get into, right? And Tabo pointed something out just now about having people invest in you. So when we say there's a lot of money involved, it's not necessarily always going to be your money, but it's important to recognize how much money is going into you as a brand and so on. Now, that's just one thing that I wanted to highlight. And then another thing that I was going to say is that one of the starting points that helped me a lot learning about the formalities of the industry, especially when it comes to the likes of the 4 PROs, Samro, Sampra, Capasso, and Risa, was a YouTube channel called Skills Music SA. He's got like years of information about that stuff.
So they should go. Yeah.
That's I would say start there, guys. If you don't know anything about this industry, start there, because that guy broke it down in a way that I was able to say, oh, okay, I'm learning this from this guy. Now I know the right questions to ask about where to go, who to connect with, and things of that nature.
Okay, very cool stuff, man. One last one for me. As singers, songwriters, and all of those things, right? I always tell Usis Noluguti, I try to be as objective as I can be, right, and non-biased as I can be, but I can't shy away. Well, not always. I can't shy away from the fact that I am a performing artist, essentially, right? I'm the guy who you're watching on stage, or I'm the guy that you're listening to after Frenchboe or MGM is done with my work, right? So I have my own inspirations that I draw from, right? From my radio-ness, I guess, to what inspires me when I start composing and writing a song, to what inspires me when I actually get on stage, right? So what are some of your inspirations that you guys have? Firstly, as individuals, as individual brands, and together when you guys actually come and collaborate with each other.
Oh man! Wow!
You've been waiting for that question.
No, we need a lot of time. You should call us back. Definitely.
That's not a last question to ask.
That's a beginning.
Yeah, but what I can say is that there are a wide variety of influences that French and I both have, both independently and together. I think what inspires our working relationship is a positive competitive relationship in that we have influences that affect us in different ways, right? It's funny how I was saying I was saying this to him the other day. I was like, it's funny how we can receive the same information, but we interpret it differently,
Process it
and yet at the
differently.
same time we can work together and give an end result that is totally different from what both of us actually thought of.
But we fight a lot.
Yeah, it's a positive thing in that we kind of hash out kind of incomplete inconsistencies that we have of our own ideas. Like he challenges me about things that I've thought of that I haven't thought through clearly, and vice versa. So it's not just a matter of accepting what so and so says or the other way around. So that helps a lot.
On my end, I'm a versatile DJ, so I play every genre. So obviously, with that being said, I am influenced by a lot of different genres in music.
Okay.
First love would be hip hop.
I see.
So as a middle child and as a millennial, you can understand that the wide variety of music and the journey till now. You know what I mean? So yeah, my influence is from a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, me, I'm just old. That's why I have a lot of influence.
So Musi, what we're gonna do now, ne? Now we're gonna sit and relax.
Okay.
You guys have 8 minutes. You can share it 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Talk about your music. Sell yourselves.
Okay.
Wow.
Right now, just last week, Wednesday, we actually dropped a 3-track project called Azania.
Okay.
It's a 3-track project with 3 different genres. One Afro tech, one Amapiano, and one Afro, which we call Mzongongo. So it's a 3-track project. Check it out on any DSP digital streaming platform. It's called Azania. Yeah. I go by the name of Frenchboe on all social media platforms. Boy with a B-O-E, not with a Y. And for bookings, man, if you go on my social media platforms, you will find all the necessary information in regards to how to get a hold of me. If you want to work with me in studio, I'm always open. It doesn't matter how big I will get, I'm always open for collaborations. And I actually enjoy and thrive working with people who are at a standpoint that I'm in right now, which is people who want to get somewhere. It will be very beautiful for me to see somebody blossom. So I'm very open with working with up-and-coming artists, as I am one myself. And yeah, DM me. You'll find all the information on all social media platforms. It's Frenchboe with a B-O-E, not with a Y.
Cool stuff.
Over to you.
All right. MGM TheGrand over here, guys. MGM, and then TheGrand is one word, so that when you search for me, don't separate those two. MGM TheGrand Official on all social media platforms. Also MGM Productions Official on all social media platforms. If you want access to MGM Productions studio time services, you can contact 073 222 6463 via WhatsApp. You can also book Frenchboe or MGM TheGrand at bookmgmproductions@gmail.com. So anybody out there looking for either studio services or production or anything of that nature, you now have access to all of the information in regards to getting a hold of us.
And if you're looking for me,
man, I feel like we didn't have enough time.
Yeah, you guys should definitely have this back.
So the idea behind it, I'll tell you, Tabo. When we called Monks last week, right?
Yeah.
I told him today was initially supposed to be based on him.
MGM Productions, and MGM TheGrand,
and MGM TheGrand. So he pitched to me, look, man, I have a signee and my business partner that I've been working with for a couple of years now, and would you mind if I come through with him, And I told him, by all means, man, Mara, nah, I think Linolu would concur with this. It would have been cool to have him on his day, and then also have you. Right, and then try to link the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was very cool having both of you here in studio, man. And we'll absolutely make time to bring you guys back.
No, for sure, man.
And maybe,
it was lovely.
Yes. Sorry, and maybe talk about where Azania is from now until whenever
where we
see
are
each other. And where you are as well. And get into other questions and other conversations about
I feel
By the way,
this journey.
I actually just want to elaborate a little bit. Azania is actually a project that is inspired by South African history, and the whole idea was really to kind of promote social responsibility and get people recognizing the importance of where
history,
we are, and also really honestly speaking, voting tomorrow, right?
Go out and
we pretty much took all those cultural, traditional struggle songs and amalgamated them into these 3 different tracks that we are hoping will have an impact on all people across all demographics, whether 50 or 15.
Yeah, we had to come out of our comfort zone. This is a project that is not something that we just like. It was partly inspired by everything that he just explained. Everything South Africa.
You know Musine? Okay, Tina, as a creative corner, we covered the first and second segment, which is producing, DJing, writing. But I think for their music, they'll have to go.
For Ikasi lifestyle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because Tina, on this one, we only cover the outside of everything.
I guess we'll be back for Kasi Lifestyle.
Yeah, because we didn't even ask when the music started and everything. So
there's a lot.
It's not our the territory. Then we'll have to throw you Friday for everything else. But thank you very, very, very much, guys. Hopefully
it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was an honor, actually, and a privilege, because once again, this is one of those platforms that there's not enough information out there about, but it's really important, and I'm gonna promote this platform as much as possible on my side.
Same here, man.
Great stuff.
Thanks for having us.
Even myself, I'll definitely do that.
We should work. You guys should come to studio very soon.
Yes.
We should work,
I've been saying, Musi, come through. And since you're Nolu, you're also a singer, why not?
Tit for tat. We came here, you coming to the studio.
Yes.
I'm a vocalist.
So the next time we come through, we play your song that we recorded in our studio.
Why not?
Yes, please.
There we go.
Yeah. Produced by MGM and Frenchboe.
There was a situation. Somebody listened to his station and he said he loves my voice. I'd see you can sing, I can tell. I'm like, now he said, come through. Let's record, make a song, and on and on. Now I came back excited, telling people up about somebody wants to work with me, but
But did you go when?
Nah, I didn't. Because I know I can't sing.
You should have.
Thank you very much, fam, for that. Yeah, over to you, Mr.
If you were hanging out with us and chilling with us this afternoon, on a Tuesday afternoon, the 28th of May 2024, you were tuned in to your favorite, the one and only audio and visual radio station. This is Share Radio, brought to you by Share Online. And the rendezvous on a Tuesday afternoon is always the Creative Corner, where we discuss and talk about all things concerning and pertaining to the creative, the artistic, and as well as the entertainment spaces, man. And this is where we give information on information, knowledge on knowledge about all things concerning those spaces. So by all means, tell a friend to tell another friend what the Share experience was here, man. And on the 15th of June, don't forget, we're going to be hanging out with all our personalities from right here at Share Online. So my name is MOOCEE Mist, and I'm never alone. I'm with the one and only Sis Nolu Knowles Waganondalana. And this was the Creative Corner, joined in studio by the one and only Frenchboe and MGM TheGrand. And we'll absolutely have them on another day. And we Kasi Lifestyle on a Friday afternoon with Andy and the crew there. So by all means, the conversation doesn't end here. Talk to us across all our social media platforms. We go by Share Online on all social media platforms. And the number to dial if you want to still get in touch with us is 061 524 7758. That's 061 524 7758. We'll see you next week. Great stuff.
Let's meet on the 15th of June 2024 at Bell's Arts Kitchen, where we will be dancing, singing, and doing all things just for 50 rand. Sizohlala sonke. And again, amagqibeleni, please do check the website. They say NAC, they've got funding opportunities there, and also NFVF. They're still open if you want to attend festivals. It's either locally or internationally. Yes. Yeah, let's meet there, fam. Thank you very much, Mr. Mrs. Mr. Musi, Missed. So we will be playing Cheeseboy, a city imoto. Thank you.
Till next time, guys.
Bye.
Sekunjalo, ishe online inethulela ishe experience music concepts ezobe ngomhla ka-15 June 2024. Kanti ke ithikithi u50 rand nje kuphela. Ungaphuthela ukuzosibukela bukhoma abaculi bakho benza ezibukwayo. Ayidibane khona eBell's Arts Kitchens.
Are you my love? Are you my love? Are you my love? Are you my love? Ufuna bami moto, ay be moto. 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 Oh my love, ufuna waye lava, ngikwenzela konke, awukodukhetha ungibukisa ngabantu. Oy, my love, ay, ungowami, awuthathongo wakho, ay. My love, ay, ungowami, awuthathongo wakho, ay. Ufuna bami moto, ay be moto. 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 One she